Inside the Springboks winning formula, how Rassie Erasmus analyzes the opposition in the modern era of international rugby. Success is often determined as much by preparation and analysis as it is by raw talent on the field. Few coaches exemplify this principle better than Rassie Erasmus, whose tenure as head coach of the South African Springboks has transformed the team into one of the most formidable forces in world rugby. From back-to-back Rugby World Cup victories in 2019 and 2023 to triumphs over elite opposition like the British and Irish Lions, Erasmus has built a legacy that blends tactical brilliance with meticulous preparation. Two players who have been at the forefront of this success are Springbok front-row stalwarts Kitshoff and Trevor Nyakane, both of whom have given rare insight into how Erasmus prepares for his opposition. Their reflections, shared on the For the Love of Rugby podcast with former England scrum half Ben Youngs, provide a window into the analytical machinery behind the box dominance. The Springboks under Erasmus, a dominant force since taking over in 2018, Erasmus has led South Africa through an unprecedented period of success. Notably, he guided the Springboks to victory in 2 consecutive Rugby World Cups, first in Japan 2019, where South Africa overcame the odds to lift the Webb Ellis Cup, and again in France 2023, reinforcing their position as a global powerhouse. In addition to these triumphs, Erasmus' era has included a 2-1 series win against the British and Irish Lions in 2021, a feat few coaches manage, and successive victories in the Rugby Championship in 2024 and 2025. These results have cemented South Africa's reputation for physical dominance, strategic intelligence, and adaptability across all areas of play, particularly in the forwards. Much of this success, according to Kitshoff and Nyakane, comes from Erasmus' analytical approach to understanding opponents, one that balances rigorous preparation with an understanding of player psychology. Kitshoff and Nyakane, front row pillars of success. Both Stephen Kitshoff and Trevor Nyakane have been integral to the Springboks' forward power under Erasmus. Kitshoff, a force at loosehead prop, was forced to retire last year due to a serious neck injury, while Nyakane, a key figure at tight head, is currently sidelined with a ruptured Achilles tendon. Despite these setbacks, both remain deeply involved in rugby circles and provide unique perspectives on the inner workings of the national team. When Ben Youngs asked the pair about Erasmus' method of analyzing opposition teams during the recent Six Nations tournament, they offered insights that reflect both the rigor and subtlety of his approach. According to Kitshoff, Erasmus' analysis is meticulous but also tailored to context and timing. The analytical approach, watching without obsessing. Kitshoff described Erasmus as highly analytical, conducting what he referred to as deep dives into the teams South Africa will face in upcoming months. It would be a deep dive for him. I think he is very analytical, Kitshoff said. So, he would be watching it like, how do we prep for these guys coming in a couple of months? So that would be his style. He further explained that Erasmus' analytical process is collaborative, involving communication with key backroom staff including Felix Jones, Mzwandile Stick, and Daan Human, who collectively monitor scrums, lineouts, and overall team shape. This approach ensures that the Springboks are prepared not just for general strategies, but for specific patterns and weaknesses that each opponent may display. Kitshoff emphasized that while the analysis is thorough, it is not performed in a rigid or robotic manner. They're watching, definitely with a beer in hand, like they're not animals, but like, they're not robots, he noted. This remark underscores Erasmus' philosophy of balancing intense scrutiny with the need for creativity and human intuition. Nyakane's perspective, relaxed yet focused. Trevor Nyakane echoed Kitshoff's observations, highlighting that Erasmus' analysis, though detailed, is often conducted in a relaxed and approachable manner. They're watching but they're analyzing. That's what they do. You will see him dancing maybe on a video or so, but for sure he was analyzing the games, Nyakane said. This combination of focus and levity is central to Erasmus' coaching style. It allows players to absorb information without feeling overwhelmed and helps maintain team morale during high-pressure periods. Nyakane also pointed out that the team itself is encouraged to participate in the analysis process. Players are asked to share their thoughts on games, which encourages them to observe matches critically and begin to internalize strategic insights. You just don't watch a game. You try and pick up a couple of things, Nyakane said. Sometimes when you get into camp, he asks you, what do you think of that game? Meanwhile, he's actually analyzed it inside out. Collaborative intelligence. The Springboks analytical ecosystem. What emerges from Kitshoff and Nyakane's accounts is a picture of a high-functioning analytical ecosystem. Erasmus does not work in isolation. Instead, he integrates the expertise of his coaching staff with the on-field observations of players to build a comprehensive understanding of each opponent, balancing rigor with human elements. One of the most striking aspects of Erasmus' approach, according to both Kitshoff and Nyakane, is its balance between analytical rigor and human intuition. While data, video analysis, and detailed observations are central, Erasmus recognizes that players are not machines, they have emotions, instincts, and personality traits that must be considered. Kitshoff's comment about watching, with a beer in hand, humorously encapsulates this philosophy. The environment is serious in terms of preparation, but it is also relaxed enough to allow creativity, spontaneity, and personal input from players. This balance appears to be a key factor in sustaining performance under pressure, particularly in tournaments as demanding as the Rugby World Cup. Nyakane also highlighted that players themselves are encouraged to develop an analytical mindset. By contributing observations during camp sessions, they gain a deeper understanding of the opposition while also learning from Erasmus' perspective. This approach cultivates a team-wide culture of critical thinking and situational intelligence. Why Erasmus' method works. The success of the Springboks under Erasmus can be attributed to several factors reflected in Kitshoff and Nyakane's observations. 1. Attention to detail. Erasmus' preparation leaves few stones unturned, allowing the team to exploit weaknesses in opposition strategies. 2. Collaboration. By engaging his coaching staff and players, Erasmus builds a comprehensive view of opponents, leveraging multiple perspectives. 3. Player empowerment. Players are encouraged to contribute insights, fostering ownership and deeper understanding. 4. Balance of intensity and levity. Analysis is rigorous but tempered with a relaxed approach, preventing burnout and encouraging creativity. 5. Adaptability. The insights gained are translated into flexible strategies, allowing the Springboks to adjust tactics dynamically during matches. These factors, combined with world-class talent and disciplined execution, help explain why South Africa has remained at the pinnacle of international rugby over the past 5 years. Insights for aspiring coaches and players. Erasmus' analytical methods provide a model not just for elite international teams, but for coaches and players at all levels. Some key takeaways include: engage collaboratively, bring in multiple perspectives when analyzing opponents. Observe critically, encourage players to develop situational awareness and game reading skills. Balance rigor with human connection, maintain preparation intensity while fostering creativity and morale. Leverage technology, use video and statistical analysis to complement, not replace, instinct and experience. Focus on actionable insights, ensure analysis translates directly into tactics and training priorities. The human element, not just numbers. Both Kitshoff and Nyakane's stories emphasize the human side of Erasmus' approach. While numbers, statistics, and video analysis are essential, the coach recognizes that success depends on understanding people, how they think, react, and respond under pressure. This philosophy allows players to perform confidently, knowing that they are not simply executing a script but are part of a living, adaptive system. It also cultivates trust between players and coaches, which is crucial when facing high-stakes situations like World Cup finals or Lions Series deciders. Conclusion: the anatomy of Springbok success. Rassie Erasmus' approach to analyzing opponents is a masterclass in modern rugby coaching. As described by Stephen Kitshoff and Trevor Nyakane, it combines deep analytical study of opposition teams, collaboration with a knowledgeable backroom staff, active player involvement in game observation,